Hey everyone, let's dive right into today's explainer and totally demystify the perfect MUET essay structure. Today, we're breaking down a high-scoring piece on an incredibly critical topic, the reality that animals are becoming endangered due to a lack of conservation awareness. We're going to pull apart the architecture of a top-tier essay so you can see exactly how it works, from the very first word to the final period.
Here is our blueprint for today. We'll start with crafting the perfect introduction, move through 3 meticulously structured body paragraphs covering habitat destruction, illegal hunting, and conservation awareness, and finally, cap it off with a strong conclusion.
All right, Section 1, Crafting the Perfect Introduction. This is where you build the foundation of your entire essay house.
Look, a killer introduction isn't about guessing what sounds good to the examiner. It's actually a super straightforward, highly effective 3-step checklist. Hook the reader, take a firm stand, and write your thesis statement. Let's see exactly how our source material pulls this off.
Now this right here brilliantly illustrates a perfect hook. Instead of starting with some dry, generic fact, the writer hits us with this vivid, emotional imagery of extinct elephants and sea turtles. It literally forces the reader to feel the weight of the topic right out of the gate.
Notice how seamlessly the writer transitions next. First, they plant their flag by taking a firm stand, saying, "I strongly agree that animals are becoming endangered due to the lack of conservation awareness." And then boom, they immediately unroll the map with the thesis statement, which answers exactly why this happens. By clearly listing out these 3 main ideas right in the introduction, the thesis provides a perfect roadmap. It sets the exact agenda for the body paragraphs that are about to follow. You're basically telling the examiner, hey, here's exactly where we're going. And trust me, that makes their job of giving you marks incredibly easy.
Moving on to Section 2, Body Paragraph on Habitat Destruction. With our foundation poured, it's time to construct the first pillar.
Think of this breakdown as your architectural blueprint for a perfect paragraph. Notice the rhythm? It follows a strict, repeatable formula. It starts with a cohesive device and a main idea, flows into elaboration, backs it up with a specific example, and ties it all together with the mini summary. This is the absolute gold standard for structuring your thoughts. See the difference here? A raw main idea just states a basic fact, like people destroy habitats. Okay, sure. But that high-scoring elaboration, that digs into exactly how forests are cleared for agriculture and housing, leaving animals struggling for food and shelter and causing rapid population decline. That is how you truly prove your point. And then you ground it, using a highly specific example, like orangutans in Malaysia and Indonesia losing their homes to palm oil plantations, gives your analytical structure some serious emotional weight. You aren't just talking about abstract animals. You're pointing to a real-world, localized crisis. All right, Section 3, Body Paragraph on Illegal Hunting. Let's move on to the second pillar of our essay house.
Notice how the cohesive device, secondly, smoothly continues the argument. It signals perfect organization to whoever is reading. And look, we're following that exact same rhythm as the first paragraph. Cohesive device, main idea. Elaboration about hunting for fur and horns, an example, and a mini summary. Consistency is key here, folks.
Again, the writer doesn't just broadly say animals are hunted. They get specific, mentioning rhinoceroses being hunted for horns and elephants for ivory drops in concrete details that make the reality of extinction feel palpable. It shows the examiner you actually know the real-world context of what you're talking about.
Next up, Section 4, Body Paragraph on Conservation Awareness. This brings us to the final pillar of our core structure.
That signposting word, lastly, cues the reader that we're wrapping up our main arguments. This is followed by really strong elaboration on how everyday human ignorance, like littering in oceans and buying animal parts, directly harms wildlife. You're directly answering the prompt's theme here.
Incorporating vivid, frankly heartbreaking details like sea turtles eating plastic bags because they look like jellyfish. That proves you are in complete control of your persuasive argument. It creates a powerful visual that's going to stick with the reader long after they finish the paragraph.
Okay, if you take away just one thing from these body paragraphs, make it this secret weapon, the mini summary. High-scoring essays always close their paragraphs by tying the specific point back to the main topic, using transitional words like thus or hence. It's such a simple step, but honestly, it's a game changer that so many students totally forget to use.
Finally, Section 5, Crafting a Strong Conclusion. Time to put the roof on this essay house. All the great arguments in the world will fall flat if you don't stick the landing.
Just like the introduction, a killer conclusion relies on a rigid structural formula. Step 1. Recap your main points. Step 2. Recap your firm stand. And Step 3. End on a powerful note of hope or advice. Let's see how our source text pulls this together. The writer masterfully kicks it off with the cohesive device, in conclusion, to signal the end. They quickly tie all three main ideas, habitat destruction, hunting, and lack of awareness together one last time. Following that, they reassert their firm stand, stating clearly that this issue must be addressed immediately.
And then they drop the mic with this powerful phrase, before more species disappear forever. Ending on such an urgent piece of advice leaves a really lasting, impactful impression. It perfectly caps off the essay and makes absolutely sure the examiner feels the gravity of the topic.
By mastering these building blocks, that hooked introduction, the steady rhythm of the body paragraphs, and a tightly structured conclusion, you've got yourself a repeatable template for success. You are ready to apply this exact framework to whatever essay topic they throw at you next. So now that you're armed with the formula, which endangered species will you champion in your next essay? Take this structure, apply it, and watch your scores rise.